Morning, faithful. How y'all doing today? It's Sunday, but we got the Patriots coming to town. Both teams have some serious injuries to their starters going on. But at this point, it's getting ridiculous, folks. It's getting ridiculous. It's like now all of a sudden, Trent Williams pops up. Didn't practice Friday. Injured. Talanoa Hufanga injures his ankle in practice. Now, if anyone remembers, last year there was that they did an interview with Hargrave, and Hargrave straight up said that the Niners go at it really hard in practice. And I honestly don't have a problem with that because the NFL and the players union have cut down on actual practice time. And this morning, folks, BC's in the building. What's up, bud?
Good morning, David.
But yeah, you heard about Trent Williams and Hufanga getting hurt in practice, right? And that's a smack my head, folks. And like I was just saying, like Hargrave reported that we go at it hard in practice. Ooh. And it's like, the reason Kyle does that is because they only get so many practices. Back in the day, before, the new CBA and they made them cut out a preseason game, they used to sometimes have 2-a-days. So, if we were practicing like that, if they actually had more practices, Kyle probably would dial it back a little bit because he doesn't want everybody getting hurt. But that's just my opinion, folks. We don't actually know. Kyle could make it even worse if they did. But so at this point, Curtis Robinson actually in practice got knocked out for the season from what I'm learning, and it's a knee injury. So here we are, our linebackers, Campbell and DFF are not playing up to par, and we just lost one of our better backups. D. Winters is also dealing with an ankle injury, currently questionable. It actually looks like he's going to be active today. They called up that, they gave him a roster spot to replace Hargrave. Sam Okenono. That's how I'm going to say his name because I have no idea how to pronounce it. It's Okenono. That's what he's going to be telling the offense because he's going to be on the defensive line, folks. So, but yeah, they called him up. He had a sack last week. So he actually showed up to the building, and decided to, play a game. Good morning, Bebop. Bebop's in the building. We got David Corona. What's up, buddy? But yeah, banged up is definitely is an understatement at this point. Now, I don't think we're on the 2020 injury level yet, but man, does it not look good.
Is there any speculation into the rumors that I heard that we're interested in trying to trade for DeForest Buckner again, or is that just a pipe dream?
That's more than likely a pipe dream. He's actually been missing games injured. I don't know if he's actually back.
Okay.
But at the same time, you think I'm going to mind that one bit? No. Definitely not. Getting that guy back in the building right next to Bosa, holy cow. I could imagine the chaos and mayhem coming at the quarterback from his blind side,
So can I pick the scab? Can I ask you a question? I'm
Sure.
going to ask you. I'm not going to ask you if I can ask a question. I'm going to ask you a question. Let's rip that Band-Aid off. Is it too late or is it too early, David, to start looking to trade BA? And if people don't know who BA is, it's that guy who wears number 11 out there on the field. The guy who doesn't know the color shorts to wear in practice, the guy who only has 11 catches on the season. Would you trade him right now if somebody legitimately offered you, or made an offer? Does it really even matter what the offer is at this point?
It does not matter what the offer is at this point. I would actually take it. If someone offered like not a third, but just a second. Just give me a second. Because third round, we don't have a incredibly good history on. They're trying to change that with like Jair Brown and Dominique Pooty, Jake Moody, etc. They're trying to change that. But it's like the third round, we do not have we have a history of a whole bunch of cut players, at the same time, like folks in the chat, say something about it. Let's hear your opinion. What's your opinion on the 49ers trading BA right now? Call up the Pittsburgh Steelers and be like, hey, is that offer still on the table? Because, like the stuff that happened in practice yesterday, you know what that makes me think of? This one wide receiver, Antonio Brown. It kind of makes me think of that.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I mean, like we don't have to say go back and watch the old videos, but no, please go watch the old videos, folks. Back in right after the Super Bowl, before the draft, I don't know. I wasn't really. I'm not against BA. I like BA. I like yelling Ayuk's on fire. Throw him the ball when he catches it. But isn't that for everybody? When he catches it, that's when we love you. When you catch it, you know who I love right now? Juwan Jennings. That guy he's number one right now. He's playing like a number one wide receiver. He's got the attitude. He's playing like somebody who got paid, but wants to get paid again and get a better contract. Somebody who wants to make a home. And I think BA, I don't think he really wanted to come back to the Niners. I really didn't think he wanted to come back to the Niners, even if we won the Super Bowl last year. When you make statements like, "Oh, I'm the fourth option, and I should be the number one wide receiver," I'm legitimately a wide receiver. If you're a legitimate wide receiver, then you catch passes. You catch passes. I mean, what was he targeted 10 times last game? And he only has 11 catches on the entire season. I think there's an effort problem. I think there's a mental problem. And I think the locker room's being affected by it. I know everybody's scrambling to try to figure out what's going to happen with Brock Purdy next year, but we need to figure out what's going to happen this year. And just one game at a time. And with everybody, like, now you've made this, you've acknowledged it. We have a lot of players that are dropping. Their injuries are just starting to happen, and it might not be as bad as it was in the past, but you keep losing guys. That 53-man roster, that Pro Bowl roster, Super Bowl roster ain't going to look the same. And at this point, I don't know what we're playing for this season, because last season we were playing, and they said we're going to go to the Super Bowl. We made it to the Super Bowl, but for some reason, it just didn't seem like we went all in. And then this year they say, "Oh, we're going all in," but they wait to sign everybody until the beginning and after the season starts. So I don't think that's going all in. I think that's being forced to do something. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if you saw my thumbnail. I actually put, can the 49ers get their shit together in the thumbnail? I'm just at that point. It's only game 4 of the season. Like, I don't mind you going like 500 in the first quarter as long as you improve, as long as we improve as the season goes. But at this point, the NFL schedule makers, they gave us an 8-game gauntlet in the middle of one of Kyle's worst months, which is October. I'm not sure what the win percentage is. If Kenny's in the chat, he could probably tell us, because he's the one that pointed this out to me. But, he's over 500 in September. So this is his chance to get back there this month. But then we start, next month we'll have the Cardinals. That's next. The game after that, Thursday night. Why is the NFL making us play the Seahawks at Seattle Thursdays? Come on. but we're going to the Seahawks, and we're going to play them on a Thursday night. At this point, we really need to get everything together. The team needs to start playing good football. It doesn't matter who's on the field and how many all-pros we're missing. You don't start winning games now, the playoffs are a pipe dream, right?
That's right. And the Cardinals right now, even though their record might not show it, they're a very formidable team right now. And the Seahawks,
They are.
Who's their quarterback? It doesn't matter because they're winning games. So, yeah, it's going to be hard. And going to Seattle to play, it's never an easy thing. And on a Thursday night, like you said, the last couple of years we've had to play them on a Thursday night, but it just doesn't seem like we do very well. And this goes back to the Colin Kaepernick days. I believe we played them on a Thursday night, and we just got, I believe it was a Thursday night, that Harbaugh game where we beat the Patriots, and then we came and got smacked by the Seahawks. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Seahawks, but you got to play them. They're in your division. You got to play them, and you can't be afraid to play somebody. Just, yeah, it's a little early in the season, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it is. I was at my favorite thrift store yesterday. We got a couple different ones in the area, but there's this one that just has all kinds of stuff. Looking for sweaters for work, hoodies, because it's coming that time of year, folks. So as I'm looking through stuff, I see there were literally 4 Seahawks hoodies and shirts. There was actually one from the Denver Broncos, which very much surprised me because they're popular in the area. Nothing 49ers, folks. Nothing 40. It just doesn't happen. Okay, it doesn't happen around here. I got lucky and I found one thing in my whole life, and I sent Bryant a picture of it. It was a hoodie, but yeah, I was looking at all the Seahawks gear, like, did people give up? It's like, but right now, division wise, they're on top 3-0. It doesn't matter if they played, the Broncos, the Giants, and the Patriots. 3 teams that are kind of not necessarily looking good at this point. It doesn't matter. They still won those 3 games. And we've played the Jets. They're a good football team. They've proved it. And we beat them. Played the Vikings, who are just come out of nowhere to be a really good football team. But we'll see if they keep it together for the rest of the year. And then we played the Rams, and the Rams are, that divisional opponent that are just pesky. And, truth be told, maybe we should have sat Charvarius Ward out last week because he couldn't keep up with the wide receiver he was covering. He looked injured. So, and here we are with Renardo Green and Darrell Luter Jr. sitting on the bench collecting dust. Put them in. At least they'll be able to. They might not be as good at coverage as Ward, but at least they'll be able to keep up with that well. But yeah, it's just we're at the point of the season. It's only week 4, and we're already very injured. It seems like we just need to tough it out this week and next week. And then, the week after, hopefully start to get most of the guys that are just nicked up and dinged up back. All the guys that like Hargrave, he's going to be out the majority of the season. I'd be surprised if he comes back before the playoffs. Curtis Robinson's done for the season. He's gone. CMC, I don't know. He went and saw some, voodoo witch doctor in Germany, and had him look at his ankle, and that there, and then there was talks about some sort of internal brace. Now, I don't think this person actually has too much insight, but they were talking about putting an internal brace like what Brock Purdy has in his elbow and CMC's ankle. Kyle actually said this after the meeting with the doctor in Germany, is in a few weeks, we're going to start testing it a little bit. So CMC is going to start, doing a little bit of running. They're going to slowly ramp it up, try not to tear anything, And if it doesn't look like he's going to be able to play, maybe at that point it's time to put that internal brace in and put him on the shelf for the year. Which, yes, that hurts, right?
Yeah, CMC's an all-purpose player. You either love him or you hate him. I see in the chats all the time people, why do we give him the ball so much? He's going to get hurt. Well, you give him the ball because he produces. When he's not on the field, you see what happens. There are some teams, though. It doesn't matter if we have CMC out there or not. They just know how to face us. They know how to line up against us. I put in the chat, there's a lot of teams right now that do want to measure up against us. And the Vikings, for whatever reason, not being able to beat them since, 92, they have our number in Minnesota. And I really want to sit here and tell you if they would have came to San Francisco or Levi Stadium, they would have had a different result. The fans would have ate Sam Darnold alive or whatever. But it's kind of hard to say that right now because their head coach is very well into our defense's scheme. They know what we're doing. And then their defensive coach over there, very underrated. That team's turning out to be something really, really special. So the Vikings, hey, Sam Darnold might be that guy that nobody expected to do what he's doing right now, but the Vikings right now are going to be very formidable, very, very hard to beat later on in the season as long as they keep their confidence up. As far as the Rams right now, they are playing to beat us. We're not playing down, and we're not playing up. We're just playing the Rams right now. We think we're too good for the Rams or something, and the Rams are going to have to keep doing what they're doing to us before we snap back, because the Niners right now are in the clouds. We don't think that any team can affect us, and right now we're getting beat by these teams that we're not really. It seemed to me, David, that the Vikings game, the Niners weren't out there with the same enthusiasm that the Vikings had. The Vikings wanted to play us. The Vikings wanted to come and beat us. The Niners seemed like they were hungover or something like that. Not all the players, but a lot of them. And then you come back to the Rams. Sean McVay wants to beat Kyle Shanahan. And for whatever reason, I'm not digging the haircut Shanahan has on the sidelines, and it's affecting the rest of the coaches too. You look at cut your hair. You guys aren't hippies out there. You didn't win anything. You need to be on your toes. You need to be prepared. And it looks like right now everybody's waking up with morning, dragon breath or something like that. They were partying too long last night or something. I don't understand it. I really don't, David. You know what color to wear. And you're going to show up at practice with different colors. It seems like there's something really, really, really affecting.
Take care of his haircut.
Yeah, just take care of your haircut. I mean, if that's what you need, because right now it seems like you're either not getting enough sleep, you don't have enough time to do the normal things that you normally do. So, I don't know. I mean, I just... Can we get back to playing Niner football? But then when we say that, people want to remind everybody, we start out slow. We don't always start out slow. We don't always start out slow, and we don't always start out with a bunch of injuries. So something's definitely going to change. It's got to change. And I think everybody just has to they got to get over the finances right now. Who's getting paid what, and come together and play.
Yeah, I hear that. It's kind of a do or die thing right now. I mean, teams that go 1-3 don't have a good chance of making the playoffs, And then we play 8 very hard. Well, I can't say very hard, but hard teams to beat in a row. A few of them at their house, and it's like our defensive problems. Yeah, we have, defensive coordinator Nick Sorensen. All kinds of people are saying, "Oh, this guy's trash." You guys do realize that Staley is a assistant head coach over the defense. So the question of the day is it really Sorensen that's having issues, or is it his boss? And if you look at the Chargers defense when Staley was there, wishy-washy too. It's like, why, Kyle, why did you do that? Like, promote the guy from inside. Don't hire a guy that kind of has a questionable defense that had all kinds of talent. The Chargers had the talent there, right? And they were wishy-washy, like what we're seeing right now. And so,
what I don't understand,
right?
what I don't understand is he keeps on hiring these assistant head coaches, ex-head coaches, right? Anthony Lynn. We have our defense coordinator from last year. I'm Wilkes, and now we have Brandon Staley, and there's been other ones. So you keep hiring these guys that were a head coach somewhere else, didn't quite make it for whatever reason. Everybody has a story that didn't make it, or just didn't work out for whatever reason. But you come here and you're not necessarily the coordinator. You're like an assistant coordinator. So, like, what are you doing? Because it seems like are we just trying to like save a bunch of people's careers or jobs or something like this at this point? Because Kyle seems to get a couple people that seem to be his friend or don't, I don't know, just disagree with him so much or challenge him so much, and they get a fancy title, and I don't see what they're doing during the season. And of course, we're not at the stadium, we're not in the facilities to see everything they're doing. But if you're going to hire somebody, because it's Nick Sorensen, who's the defensive coordinator, correct? And you have Brandon Staley, who's his defensive assistant head coach, or it's like, why wouldn't you have just brought him over? He already had he was already a head coach. Why wouldn't you just make him the defensive coordinator? Because the fans at the time, David, didn't want to hear that. And now we're stuck. What? You got two captains, two chiefs telling the defense what to do? I thought this guy that we promoted within was, hey, I thought we promoted him for a reason. And that's why people get mad again, because we had him on the team last year and we went after Wilkes, a defensive or a former head coach. So it's like, are you trying to promote within, or are you trying to fill the vacancies with positions from people that's already had a position? Just because you were a head coach or a defensive coach doesn't mean you're a good one, and doesn't mean you should get another chance. This is not like, come to the 49ers, we'll work you out for a year and you can go somewhere else and be great. What are we doing? We're making the rest of the league great. Like, if you look at, Shanahan's coaching tree, a lot of coaches came from the 49ers, and now they're different places. And it's great to see that evolution. It's great to see that players and coaches go different places and they do good. But at what point are we going to just say, no, man, you can't go, or we really want you to stay? And I don't know, maybe we've let too many people go. And what I'm getting at is maybe Kyle really does have too much on his plate. If you can't control the locker room, you can't, keep people from coming out of the locker room with the wrong color. I mean, it's pretty hard to confuse black with red. If you're supposed to wear black shorts or black pants, why are you coming out there in red? And if you come out there in red, is it that big of a deal? Like, seriously, is it that big of a deal? And if it is that big of a deal, do you have to make it a big deal? Can you take the person to the side and say, go in the locker room, don't come back out? Or you're getting fined, wear the red shorts, but you're getting fined. Or I mean, like, is it, David, would you rather get a spanking in front of everybody, or would you rather your parents take you to the side and say, okay, you're going to get disciplined. This is why you're getting disciplined. Take it like a man. Or should I put you in front of your brothers and sisters and tell them, you get a spanking because you ate the last cookie? I mean, like, at a certain point, it's like the punishment needs to be filled, but you did it for a certain reason. Did he wear the shorts so he would make Kyle Shanahan say something to him in front of everybody? Like, is he trying to get kicked off the team? Is he trying to make Kyle look like a clown? Because at a certain point, this is starting with BA. Or it started with somebody else in the locker room, and we don't know who it was. Maybe they're not even on the team anymore. But this issue started, and Kyle has to stop it. Kyle has to eliminate any fires, anything like that that's happening in the locker room right now. The people that wanted to get paid have gotten paid, and now they're not acting true to what they agreed on. Right now, they're acting out. So I definitely hope Kyle can get this under control. If not, he'll need to hire another defensive former head coach, right?
Well, yeah, you remember when we first hired him? What was my big question? What's this guy do here? You know, that was my big question. What's this guy do here? And it's still my question. What's this guy do here? So, you know, you have Nick Sorensen's the defensive coordinator, but you know, Staley being an assistant head coach over the defense, that makes him Sorensen's boss, right? Right? Isn't that how? Again, what does this guy do here? You know, um, and our defensive scheme, for whatever reason, you know, you could say our linebackers are trash, minus Fred Warner, because they are. You know, we haven't seen enough of D Winters on the field. He's been having injury issues. It would be nice to get that 4.49 40 running linebacker on the field. That would definitely help. Having his speed alone at the linebacker level would definitely help us. You know, Campbell, he when he runs, it reminds me of James Richard Garoppolo taking off in the pocket. You know, it's like, yeah, I'm making a sandwich, you know, I'm eating it, and then you know he's finally getting out of the pocket. You know, it's like, but at the same time, we have DFF at linebacker 3. You know, the guy's been on the team for some years. All kinds of people say, "Oh, well, not all kinds." There's one specific guy who I won't name, who's been saying he's a special teams ace. Okay, our special team sucks. Where's DFF? You know, it's like my whole point is we're letting guys like a guy like Jalen Graham, who we have for the next several years cheap and has upside. He has potential to develop into more than DFF. We're letting him go, and we're keeping guys like that. We're keeping guys, you know, that know the system that Kyle's comfortable with. Like, you know, that one guy that played the nickel in the Super Bowl, Logan Ryan. Oh, Kyle's comfortable with that veteran out there, even though he's not what he used to be.
Yeah. Comfortable enough to tell him, you don't have to come to practice. Stay on the boat, enjoy your cruise. Don't worry, when we get to the Super Bowl, there'll be a spot for you. There'll be a starting position for you. Like, again, Kyle, why are you bringing your friends here? Like, I don't care who your friends are. I really don't. I don't care if you hire somebody that the fan base doesn't really care about. What I do care about is you win the Super Bowl. And I think if everybody was so mad that he was going to hire somebody like Steve Wilkes, or they were going to hire, promote Sorensen last year after D'Amico left, or this year, hiring Brandon Staley, but in title, as an assistant defensive coach. Just do what you want to do. If you really want your friends in there, then get your friends in there. But don't be afraid that people like me or other people are going to say, oh, he hired a bunch of his friends. No shit. He hired a bunch of his friends because his friends make him feel confident and maybe make him feel like he can work around them. But I think maybe the problem is somebody isn't stepping up or saying, hey, we need to do this. Or maybe we're just having the wrong crucial player at the wrong time fumble, or maybe not catch the ball. And maybe it just boils down to execution. But it goes back to like what you said, and kind of like what I said. If practice isn't being fulfilled to the standards and doing what we need to happen during practice, there's only so many hours in the day. And if you're changing your shorts on the sideline and the coach is chewing you out for a couple of minutes, then the rest of the players are standing there. What do we do? And they're getting distracted. And that just carries on to game day. So, when it's a walkthrough, you're supposed to have a light day, right? You're supposed to be able to, everybody's supposed to feel good. But when you get reprimanded or the rest of the team sees somebody got a spanking, how are they supposed to feel the rest of the week or even think about the game? The mindset of the team is not there right now. We're all thinking about money. And sooner or later, what's it matter? You can have all the money in the world. Do you have a championship? And why are we playing this game? To get paid or to be champions? Yeah, I guess a lot of players just kind of need to figure that out. And I don't think the answer is going to be what the fans want to hear.
And that's the truth. You know, it really might not be what the fans want to hear. You know, we got other folks joining the chat, which that one I'm not going to put on YouTube. I don't want to get in trouble. But Tommy Huxley, what's going on, buddy? I have to agree with that statement right there. We got John J. He's in the chat. What's up, buddy? Morning. You know, Tommy Huxley, what's happening? But at this point, it's like, you know, we got Trent Williams, and it's actually looking like he's a game time decision. Same thing with Hufunga. You know, Debo Samuel it's looking like he's going to be playing. Kittle is definitely going to be out there because his status is unspecified. So he's definitely going to be out there, folks.
But do we really need Kittle right now? Yeah. Do we really need Kittle? That other tight end seems to be doing pretty good.
When it comes down to it, our wide receiver production, we need Debo probably more than Kittle right now.
Yeah.
But
I'd even question if we really need Debo at this point. We just need Juwan to just keep playing. I really think he's going to be the target today again.
And, you know, we need that $30 million a year receiver to actually catch more than 50% of his targets. You know, that's what he's at right now, folks. 50% of his targets. Everything in his catch radius, he should be catching. Oh, that was just a little behind him, the announcer saying. I'm like, he had his hands on the ball. It's in his catch radius. That is very catchable. I don't want to hear that.
It was really, really hard to listen to the Rams and 49ers game the other day. I believe it was Mark Sanchez. Oh my gosh, you could totally tell he was rooting for the Rams. You could just hear it. And I get it, you know, people get, you know, caught up and, you know, they have ties with teams and stuff like that. But yeah, he stuck with the Rams the entire game. And when they switched us, and like you said, it was that punt. The punt turned the whole game around, changed the momentum of the game. The Niners still were playing, and we still believe we could win the game, but that definitely swung the
momentum.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was again a blown special teams play. You know, and then, you know, they had the big punt return right there late in the fourth to put them in prime position. You know, it's like, special teams, where you at?
Should we blame the kicker? Can we blame the kicker and punter for the bad tackling? You know, I mean, like, no. I thought your job was just to kick the ball, but I guess you're supposed to go make the tackle too, right?
I bet Wisnowski could tackle better than most of those special teamers.
Bring back Jose Cortez. Bring back Jose.
But, you know, it's like our special teams coach. We hired this guy from the Sea Chickens, and he was supposed to come and fix everything. Well, guess what? Nothing has improved at all. And it's like, you know, what is going on with that? Is it Kyle and his need to, you know, not keep all the young players that other teams have on special teams? You know, like say Danny Gray, Sammy Womack, you know, are the two best gunners I've seen in the last several seasons. You let them go? Oh, anyone can play special teams, right, Kyle? Kyle, dude, you're bottom of the league in special teams every year. Our coverage unit, it's seriously bottom 4 every year. Every year.
Well, it's that time everybody gets up and they go get them a new snack, or they go get them something to drink, or they use a restroom, you know. Yeah, it's special teams, right?
Or get a cup of coffee.
Yeah. You know, special teams. Who likes special teams, right? You got to be like one of those people, right? Yeah. There's got to be there's got to be a special reason you like special teams. And don't just tell me you played special teams. Like, what interests you? I mean, is it the laces out, the laces in? I don't know. Kickers, they're never really crowned the hero, but they are crowned the villain. And same thing with punters. We got a really good punter. and people were like, oh, maybe we should change our punter this year because of his price tag. Or again, it comes down to price. Do you really care what the price is if he's performing? I think the issue is just he was banged up at the beginning of the year, and that I wasn't a rookie, but that other kicker that we had, the other punter, he was making some good decisions, good plays.
Hey, all these guys that were like, oh, maybe it's time to get rid of Mitch. He's 32 years old. We got this punter right here. He's doing good during the preseason. He's he could punt the ball probably till he's 38 to 40, folks. Like 32 is still that's the back end of the prime here. Let's not make a hasty decision. Let's go with the known reliable player here.
And the whole Moody issue, people not liking Moody and stuff. Well, give him a little bit of time, and I'm going to keep giving him time. If he keeps on not performing, then yeah, I'm going to start saying the same thing everybody else is saying too, and my mood will change towards him as well. But at this point, I don't see him messing up that bad. I see it was a close kick last week, and you can't blame everything on one player. But you can blame, certain issues and certain key moments. We had a Ronnie Bell, man. You got to step up. You need to step up. If the ball hits your hands, you need to catch the ball. And maybe he's listening for that bell before he, catches the ball. But I tell you, if you catch the ball, you will hear the fans scream your name. They will cheer. They will ring out your name. But you got to catch the ball first. That's, I don't know. Dave, what's your keys to victory today? What do you think we need to do to beat the Patriots? Is Cam Newton going to be playing? Tom Brady?
There's two keys to victory. Number one, run the ball, or just run the ball. And, well, there's actually three. Run the ball, throw to Juwan Jennings, And then the third one would be stop the run, because the Patriots passing game, I think, is staying close to last in the league, if not last in the league. So we need to tee off on the run. At this point, put 8 in the box, do what teams used to do to us, and make Jacoby Brissett try to beat us throwing to those mid-wide receivers, right? Just, yeah, we got to say hi to Spongy and Jim Everniner, the faithfuls in the chat. What's going on, buddy? Tony Colt, good morning. That's Brian's better half there. But yeah, I mean, that's my keys to the game. Throw to Juwan Jennings, run the ball, and stop the run. That's so basic, it's not funny, right?
Okay, so it says, who is favored to win, Patriots or 49ers? And it says right here, Google says it. Who is favored to win? Even without key players, the Niners are double-digit favorites over the Patriots. You know what I had to say to that?
I'm not paying attention to that.
I just hear lies. Because double digits, David, would you call a 10-point lead a double digit?
No, I'd say more than 10, like 14, 17.
I would consider 10 points a double digit lead. You have to score twice to get ahead. And every time we get to 10 points, it seems like we cool off, and then that other team starts to come a little bit, get a little bit closer and closer, and then we can't ever. It's always 10 points. It's either number 10 or 10 points. We can't get away from it. And we're either. So
then Kyle gets pass happy in the fourth quarter when we should be running the ball, eating the clock, and they come back and win. Damien, morning, buddy. What do you got?
Whose fault is it that we can't keep a lead when we get a 10-point lead?
It's the players because they don't execute, right?
No. It's the coach's fault. David, you remember the movie? Hoosiers? Old classic. Yes. Okay. Oh, yeah. That's the same. I mean, that's how you play the game. You play to win. You don't get a 10-point lead and you just sit down. I mean, that was a flashback of the Super Bowl. Kyle can't keep leads. I don't know what it is about him. It's just like as soon as you get a lead, it's over. You got to know how to slit the throat, destroy your enemy. Either you have it or you don't. You alpha or you beta. You one or the other. We know what Kyle is. I mean, we can dance around us all year, but Kyle doesn't have what it takes to do it. He
It's like
reminds he
it's
reminds me he reminds me of Golden State when Mark, I forgot his last name, Mark something, built the Golden State Warriors, but it was Steve Kerr that took him over. I mean, I'm really trying to find that coach. I've been looking for like 2 or 3 years now because I can spot an alpha male from a beta male. Kyle's a beta male. We need somebody that's gonna go in there, slit the throat, get us 2 or 3 wings, and say, "Hey, we good. Let's go quest for 10." When the
would you
Rams when the Rams D League team comes back on you like that, that's bad.
Would you agree with this? Because it's kind of my thoughts. I look at Kyle, and maybe it's because and this is my thoughts. Maybe it's because he has so many friends out there from his coaching tree that he's not trying to step on anyone's toes. I feel
No,
like it's almost like a professional courtesy when he goes up against some of these players and these teams. He's not blowing them out because there's
no.
moments where we get that 10-point lead and we can shut down the whole game. But he's almost confident, I mean, not confident. He's almost comfortable winning the game by like only a couple points. And we can see it that the Niners players can put up more points. But for whatever reason, like you said, the gas has been taken off. They turn down the oven heat, and now we start losing the game. And then he starts scrambling because his apprentices and his friends are now beating us. And we try to get to that point again where, okay, we're taking control of the game, but it's already too late. So, I mean, you don't have to agree with that, but I kind of feel like that's kind of the gist of Kyle is alpha or beta. It doesn't really matter when he plays against his friends. He's not trying to like disrespect other coaches or embarrass them. And I don't really find like that to be a good way to go out a game. If you're playing a game, the object is to put up as many points as possible. And if the other coach or the other team gets mad that you put up 50 points and they were only able to score 3 or something, and they don't want to shake your hand at the end of the game, that's okay. Guess what? There's 32 more teams to go up against. And, at a certain point, if they don't want to play you because you're going to blow them out, well, they're going to get blown out of the league.
That's and I like what you said. That's beta. See, even like Michael Jordan's the best example. If you look at all these chronicles Michael Jordan have against his friends, he whooped them. He beat up on Charles Barkley. He beat up on Kyle Drexler. He beat up on Magic Johnson, and they were all his friends. They all drank with him. They all play cards with him. But you want to beat your friends. You want to beat your apprentices. A reference to Star Wars. Sidious destroyed all his Padawans or whatever. You want to beat your friends. Name me one time if you like. I like watching animal shows. Name me one time that another lion lets another lion come in if they friends. No, he asserts his dominance. Kyle doesn't assert his dominance. He asserts passiveness. He'll get a little lead and then okay. I mean, it's a business. Football is a business. It's never personal. You want to destroy. You want to beat your counterparts to let them know the hierarchy of power is.
Yeah. Yeah, I really feel like we're onto something right here. I think he really
Because
gets
the thing is, like me, I would never, even when I used to play, like anything I do, I would never let my friends. It's just a male ego thing. You don't let your friends beat you. You got to show dominance. Even no offense to my friends, you got to show who's number one. Even though I trained you, or whatever, I'm number one. I got to show why I am who I am. And if you can go out and train all these people, all these apprentices, and have all that, but you got to show why you got the job first, why you trained them, not why they left you. Everybody he trained, he should have whooped and destroyed. Muhammad Ali fought a lot of his people until he got old and they start beating him at because of age. That's how it's supposed to be. Nobody should be catching up on Kyle until he's like in his 50s. And they doing it now. We have the wrong. We have the wrong guy. It's best to spot the problem before it gets worse.
I actually look at like Kyle and John like, okay, Jed York's now, the owner of the company. So promote John Lynch to president, promote Kyle to get him out of the head coach seat. Give him the GM role. Because those guys, they're good at building a team, right?
Yes,
They are.
I
They're
agree.
good at
I
building
agree.
a team. So now it's time to find that head coach. And a couple years ago, the guy decided to sign with the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
That's the guy that I actually look at. Like if he was at the helm, we would have a ring or two by now.
I don't know.
But at the
But
same time,
I'm actually.
it's
Oh, sorry.
old
My bad.
thing,
Go ahead.
right?
I'm keeping an eye on the Jets right now, because if the Jets, if we tank again, if we if we don't win the title this year, and the Jets choke, you know who I want for a coach? I think he would be the right guy.
You think
Well,
Robert Saleh?
that's
I
what I
think
was going to say.
I'm
Is
I'm thinking Robert Saleh.
That's what I was going to say. Is every time we get somebody on the defensive coordinator side that seems to be like really good or every fan favorite, everybody wants to become the head coach, and then they go somewhere. They went to the Jets, and he turned around the Jets, and he had kind of a bad season. You can't really blame a quarterback going down on a coach necessarily, and say that's all your fault. But you do have to have a contingency plan, right? And Zach Wilson wasn't, whatever reason they weren't able to get behind him, right? So now we have D'Amico, and D'Amico goes to the Texans. The same thing. We're like, oh man, we missed out. Well, he got a quarterback, like maybe a generational quarterback too. The Strouds, they changed the whole name of the Texans. They're not the Houston Texans. Are not the Houston Texans anymore. They're the Strouds, folks. The Houston Strouds. So now you have this quarterback. As long as he's going to be good, he'll be tied to D'Amico for the next 5-6 years. If he starts losing, D'Amico's going to be out of Texas. That's just how it's going to happen. And it was because they got married, man. When you get a quarterback at the beginning of your career as a head coach, you are tied to that quarterback. If he does good, then you're good. And I think that's the problem with Kyle is he never got that quarterback to begin begin his career with the San Francisco 49ers. We all heard him saying he wanted cousins, and everybody's like, I don't want my cousin. I don't want to be married to my cousin. Nobody wants to be married to their cousin, right? I mean, right? But that's what happened. Kirk Cousins,
Alabama.
that was the plan. Get Kirk Cousins. But again, the 49ers fan base gets too loud and they start saying stuff. And Kyle, what? Did the Niners back off? Did Kyle back off? We didn't go all in and get you like that at that moment. And maybe that was what happened. We got Brian Hoyer, the Destroyer. And then from there, we scrambled. We got Jimmy G, and he wasn't the right option. But it was things that happened that the fan base didn't get so mad about. And now we're at the point where we didn't want BA to get traded. We didn't want to see him go anywhere, but we held off on paying him for such a long time. It really did hurt our team, and it kind of did put us back. So maybe that's the problem right there is if Kyle did become the general manager, then he could pull the trigger on some of those decisions and say, no, we're paying BA right now, or we're going to trade him right now because this is the moment you do it. You don't wait after the draft and say, oh, we might trade him. What are you going to get? You're going to get picks for next season? That's not going to happen. It's not going to help you this season. You need help this season. That's why it's like you're either all in or you do something that's going to help. And still, you're all in, right? You need to do something that's going to help you this year. So I think maybe again, like us not trading BA or paying him before the draft happened really hurt our team this year. So again, like you said, maybe we need a little bit more help. Maybe Kyle needs to be a little bit more dominant. I don't see why the organization, the coaching tree, John Lynch, and it looks like Jed's on the same page as far as these players getting paid, but somebody else up in there is saying, hold on, we can't pay these players right now. And somebody's listening, and that's right now we're having too much turmoil inside instead of them being able to say,
oh, we lost Damien, folks.
I'm sorry,
David. Conveniently popping in. Oh, I got you. I know exactly what you're saying. It's kind of Yeah, let's pay everybody. Okay, can you do me a favor and pay them early so we don't have a whole off season of what the hell is going on in the fan base? You know, we don't have rivers of gasoline going through the Niner Empire being lit by John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. You know, can we can we do this? Can we actually pay a guy before training camp and OTAs so he shows up? You know, it's like this is getting to the point. It's an every year thing. But my thing with BA is I truly feel like we should have traded him. I feel like the Niners needed to make a statement with this guy that look, you're not bigger than the team. And they should have traded him. Should have said, all right, Steelers, here you go. And then they could have their Antonio Brown 2.0, you know.
I agree. I mean, because like, if I'm gonna give you $30 million, you got to be a game breaker. You got to be a game changer, and he's not a game changer. He drops passes. So my thing is like, I was talking to David last night. I would have traded him to the team down the street and got CeeDee Lamb. I want if I'm gonna give you $30 million, you need to cause havoc. You need to cause wreck. You can't have temper tantrums. If you're getting $30 million a year, you need to take half of the field away. Defense need to be all clogged up on you. You got to be better than Jerry Rice. I don't think Jerry Rice ever made $30 million a year.
I don't know if he ever made $30 million in a contract. Well, back in the day, I'll have to look at that actually.
I mean,
you got me all sorts of curious now.
What's the thing about T.O. besides his attitude that
I
people
would
always reference? T.O. Terrell Owens always dropped passes. He might have been bigger than Rice. He might have been faster than Rice or stronger than Rice at a point, but he did not have the hands that Jerry Rice had. And B.A. is kind of similar, right? He's a good player, but he does not have Jerry Rice hands. I don't know if anybody does, but there are wide receivers very good, like Jerry Rice, Chris Carter, Randy Moss. There's a lot of wide receivers out there. When the ball hits your hands, it's glue. It just sticks there. It's a magnet. And for BA, like you said, David, how many targets does BA have, and how many catches does he have on the season? It's like
last week he had 10 targets, 5 catches. He's literally at a 50% catch rate, which at $30 million, you should be somewhere around 70 to 80%.
85 to 90. That's too much money.
He only has 11 catches in 3 games. In 3 games. I mean, like, that's what, like $12 million a catch, David? Or how much did you break that down to? It's like
between 12 and 15. Between 12 and 15. Right back to your rookie contract. Right around there.
But that's for 1 catch. You know, you take all 11 catches. He got paid $30 million this year. We're paying him $12 million per catch at this point. I mean, we do need more production out of that man. Yeah, I don't care if you think you're the 4th option or not. You're getting paid $30 million. And you got targeted 10 times last week. You got Juwan Jennings coming out, and he's not getting nearly as much money as you are, and he's way outperforming you. So at a certain point, it's not just about money. It's about desire and drive and
urgency.
Yeah.
Oh. Jerry Rice's biggest contract. You guys ready for this? 6 years, $35.25 million.
That's $7 million, almost $7.5 million a season. Counting taxes.
That's insane. They only gave him a $4 million signing bonus, and then the rest was it was like 5-point-something million annually. That's what he made back in the day, folks. Like $35 million. That's not even like Daniel Jones is making more than that. You know, Geno Smith is making more than that in a season. So, you know, can't believe it. You know.
Now,
But
Tony.
yeah,
But Tony. Devo did show up, and he had showed out, and he did get paid, and he did come into camp last year with a better mindset than BA did. It might have been a lot of speculation, but these are the fans' opinions and the fans' feelings. A lot of people at the time were like, trade Devo, let him go. We got BA. BA is going to be great. No, Devo is not BA, and BA is not Devo. Two different players, two entirely different players. They played football. They say it's the same position, but they play it completely different. Neither one of them seem to catch when they're targeted. But Devo, when he has the ball in his hand and he's running like a running back, is feared across the league. When Ayuk gets the ball in his hand, he's tackled immediately. I don't think people fear him like that. They fear if he catches it, but he's not Devo. And
Brent, you gotta be careful, bro. She'll come in there.
she'll come in here. I better lock the door.
Do you guys think we got the wrong 2 wide receivers?
Honestly, I honestly think Debo is right for the system, and BA is not.
David, you know what I was telling you about years ago when that Jameson Williams came out? He had an ACL problem in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
He was a field stretcher. We don't have no field stretchers that's starting. We got a lot of people
already. This is per Kyle. Jacob Cowing isn't. He's coming along, but he's not ready. He doesn't have to know the whole playbook, Kyle. Give him a couple and get him out there. You know, it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
I mean, right now I'm ready. I would trade. I really would. See, it's not. My thing is this. I've been a Niner fan for like since the 70s. And when we had Taylor, we had Rice. Rice wasn't the fastest man, but he knew how to run where you couldn't catch him. John Taylor was great. I think we have the wrong combo. And I think that, really to me, Debo is an undersized tight end. Because of his physicality. Like me, I would put Debo like as a small tight end, some kind of weird package where we can stop looking for a tight end. We say no, we got Debo playing, a special form of tight end, and find 2 legitimate burners. We need people that can stretch the field. I mean, this little dink and dunk is cute, but even Richard Sherman shared when he was with Seattle. When Crabtree couldn't stretch the field, or Anquan couldn't stretch the field. We need people that can stretch the field. Imagine have somebody that can stretch the field with Kyle's system, with Kyle being masculine. Then you can open up. Then you can run. But me, I'm a run the ball pass second guy, because you got to run the ball to set up the pass. Kyle's doing it backwards.
Do you think that's because of our quarterback? Do you think it's because of like the type of quarterbacks that we've had too?
Even with the type of quarterback we have Jordan Mason. The thing is, I've heard great things about Mr. Garendo, but I know how patient Kyle is about his feelings about rookies and stuff like that. He needs to like really get over it. Only way a person gains experience is through actual on the field training. And I know, if we rush Jordan Mason on right now, he's gonna be burnt out by playoffs if we even get to the playoffs.
So I'm actually looking at our wide receiver numbers, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy is leading us in catches just this last game. He had 11 catches. Debo through 2 games had 13 catches for 164 yards, which is pretty productive, But Ayuk has played 1 more game than him, and he doesn't have that many catches. He has more targets than Debo. I mean, when it comes down to it, yards to target 8.6. His catch rate is 68%, so it's closer to 70. Wow. Let's look up John Jennings' numbers on the season. But so and Bebop, this is what we're hoping for, buddy. We're hoping he does enter the chat and the game. Because I was honestly thinking, oh, he got in there for a couple snaps last game, and I've rewatched it 4 times now. No, he was not in for 1 offensive snap. And this is a guy with speed. Why don't you run a jet sweep, do an end around, do something? You know, run him a go route. How hard is it to learn a go route, Kyle? You literally step to the side of the defensive back and you outrun them down the field. You know, this is like, okay, anyway. Sentinels in the building. What's up, buddy? Yeah. Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. We need, you know, if we trade for someone, we'll be like, all right, your job is just go deep every time. You know, go deep. Make that defense stretch so all the underneath dink and dunk stuff is like wide open. Oh, I said that out loud.
Yeah, but right now I think, guys, we all have ideas of what we could do to open the offense up. But the number one thing is catch the damn ball. Okay, we can do all this cute stuff in the background and do all this, you know, fun stuff, you know, end arounds and all these reverses, but it's not going to matter if you don't catch the ball. And if you target somebody 10 times in the game and they only catch 5 passes, but those 5 times that they drop the ball, you have to go and punt, then what are you doing out there? You don't throw the ball to that person on 3rd down, do you? You throw it to somebody else who's going to catch the ball. And I just think it's really interesting that every time we get into this situation where some of our fan favorite players are, you know, or maybe more elaborate players are not succeeding, we go to people like Juice and we get to go to people like Juwan Jennings and they seem to produce. Maybe it is an ego thing. Maybe it's a desire thing. Maybe they want to show out and show up. But when you do have somebody who comes out and says they're the 4th option, that's in their head. They're not the number 1 option. They're the 4th option. And whether or not you're okay with that or you're struggling with that, that's a war he's having in his head. Now he got paid to be the number 1 option, essentially, and he's not performing that way. So at this point, I think we have to start scheming away from Brandon Ayuk and let him come to terms with who he wants to be. Because like I said, these work. We're not going anywhere.
No, we got $30 million with a problem, mental issue that he should fix on his own.
Yeah,
and the thing is,
scheme away from him, let him figure it out up here on his own.
Hey, you guys want to hear what a number 1 wide receiver does? They catch the ball 85.7% of the time. Okay. They average what is it, yards a target? Where's that at? But the yards a game, they average somewhere around 92 yards a game. 13.1 yards a target. That's pretty good, folks. That's pretty good. And they get 21 targets, 18 catches. This is what a number 1 wide receiver does. Can anyone name the wide receiver I'm talking about?
Justin Jefferson.
He's on our team.
Oh, Juwan Jennings.
Yes. This is Juwan Jennings' numbers on the season, folks. It seemed like ever since the Super Bowl, something's flipped in his head.
No, he was always like that. He was just overshadowed. Like when that in the Super Bowl, when him and that guy got into it on the sideline on that pass play, everybody noticed it because Debo was off the field. It was all on him. I think Juwan, like I was telling you last year, Juwan Jennings we can't let him go. That guy is our dog. That's our true number 2 wide receiver right there. That's a dog. We just need to find out our number 1. It don't have to, and my thing is this: our number 1 wide receiver don't have to be a wide receiver. It could be a tight end. Remember Brent Jones from back in the day? He was good. A tight end could be a wide receiver. Vernon Davis was good. Vernon Davis was better than to me. Vernon Davis was better than Crabtree. So we might be barking up the wrong tree, but we got a $30 million problem sitting over there pouting, wearing the wrong shorts, getting his feelings,
Yes.
and that's a problem because
wearing the wrong shirts, and Kyle over there going, "What are you doing, man?" You know, it
because
was like,
we could do with that $30 million. We can go find us a nose tackle. We can go find us a edge or a defensive tackle
yep.
with that money.
Guys, I'm sorry, but I have to humbly disagree. Brent Jones is Mr. Reliable, 100%. I agree with that. But Vernon Davis being better than Kittle, no. You know who is better than Vernon Davis? Delaney Walker, and we let him go.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get that out of the bag. Vernon Davis, he didn't become good until he cut his hair and Singletary yelled at him. Okay, George Kittle's been good since day one. Day one. George Kittle is number 85 on the 49ers team. Vernon Davis, who? You went and won a Super Bowl with the Broncos. Go be a Bronco. Go be a Washington Redskin or a Washington football commander, whatever. But you're not your time with the Niners was great. Catch 2 happened, or catch 3 happened. I'm so sorry. Catch 2 is T.O. Got to remember the T.O. But catch 3, Vernon Davis crying on the sidelines. I love it. Love the emotion and stuff. But no, George Kittle, 2 Super Bowls since we had George Kittle, right? Vernon Davis, where were you at in the Super Bowl? I bet Colin Kaepernick could have used you then, right? So yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Love you, Sentinel, but no, I can't agree with that.
No, what I was saying about Vernon Davis was he could stretch the field. That's what I was saying.
Well, he was the only one. Anquan Bolden at the time was the only one who could catch, and Vernon Davis was the only one who could get deep, and he kept getting deep until Seattle hit him that one game and changed his philosophy and his desire to go deep. Was it Bobby Imgreen who hit Vernon Davis in that championship game?
Was it Cam Chancellor?
Yeah, and that after that we didn't. Vernon Davis was never going to ever be the same, ever. Even when he went to the Broncos, he was a backup. He wasn't the starter. He didn't get them to the Super Bowl. What got them to the Super Bowl was number 40. I'm trying to think of his name.
William Floyd.
No, the defensive player. Where was it? What's his
DeMarcus Ware.
Yeah, he was the one who got them to the Super Bowl. So I don't know. I think Crabtree was a problem from the beginning. He held out from and then we didn't start him until there was a couple games that he held out on, and then when we did start him, he played Alex Smith had him against the Colts, and to Crabtree's defense, Mr. Dirtball Alex Smith couldn't get the ball up, higher than anyone's ankles when he was throwing it to. The only person who could catch the ball that low was Frank Gore. But Michael Crabtree never really truly was all in with the 49ers. And then he went to the Raiders and he got his chain snatched. And from there, I don't really remember what happened to Crabtree after that, right?
Yeah, I remember watching. I was watching that when Aqib Talib snatched his chain. That was funny.
That was funny. Von Miller. Thank you, Tommy. Tommy was right. It's Von Miller. Von Miller was the reason the Super Bowl was won. It wasn't Peyton Manning. It was Von Miller. And imagine that if we would have traded and we would have got Peyton and moved away from Kaepernick at that moment. Woo! We might be sitting here with 2 or 3 Super Bowls. But that's a pipe dream there too, huh? It was going to be us, Denver, or Miami. That was where Peyton was going. And for whatever reason, we didn't. I don't know. I think we could have went all in and got him. I think we could have got him, but
that defense carried Peyton. Peyton, they took him out of games. He was throwing one hoppers. He retired when he knew he retired a year too late. That defense Denver took him. That's another Trent Dilfer in a nice way. because
still
then,
looking at numbers for our team, guys. And
yeah,
Coach Kittle has an 84.6% catch rate. And this is only in 2 games, folks. But still, it's better than 50%, is what I'm saying.
Peyton Manning. Okay, sorry if my pronunciations aren't as clear some mornings. I get excited. Tommy giving me crap today. That's all right. Hey, David, I'm excited. I have the Patriots running back on my fantasy team. What would you give me? Any thoughts or opinions? Should I start him? Should I bench him? I think I'm gonna put him out there and let him go.
Who do you have starting?
The Patriots running back.
I don't know if it's a bad thing to bench him. Look at how bad our run defense has been.
I think I'm going to start him because if our run defense is that bad, I'm going to start him.
I mean, we brought up Evan Anderson, the undrafted free agents rookie. He is on the squad right now to take Hargrave's spot, but it's a standard elevation, so they can just put him back down there if they don't think he's going to work out, right? They brought up the guy Sam. I cannot pronounce his last name. I'm going to say it's okay. No. That's what I'm going to say. But he got brought up. He literally is promoted to the 53. And so that means he's taking the spot of someone on the defensive line permanently. And this could be because Jordan Elliott is also having injury issues right now, folks. Oh, Damian Lee's got that. Folks, you got to forgive Damian Lee. He lives in the area of the Cowboy Stadium, and he's unfortunately got that, NFC East Wi-Fi,
there you go. That's right. I'm around trash. Sorry, team. With their own mental problems.
But, so the game's starting not quite 15 minutes, but we're pretty close, So it's almost time to get on out of here. You guys got anything else you want to say?
I want a ground and pound game today. I want us to beat the Patriots with the running game. But we need running game though. We need help.
Yes. Isaac Guerrero did get 5 carries last game, folks. This could be a thing.
Does that guy
eye on it?
Does that guy whose name starts with a K? Is he on our team still, or is he on practice squad? I forgot I think it starts with a K. I forgot his name. But we need help on that running game.
Yes, we do. Brian, what do you got?
Trust the process. Don't get too mad because the process will change next week. You don't know what color shorts the guys will be wearing at practice. So enjoy it because the season just started. It doesn't really matter what our record is as long as we get into the playoffs. That's going to be the factor. Once we're in the playoffs, this team can run the table. We've done it multiple years. The same regime, the same coaching staff, almost the same players. There's just been a couple that's departed. So I really think it's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to the Niners getting back there in the backfield and hopefully taking out Cam Newton or Tom Brady, whoever they have starting this week. And I'm looking forward to a good game.
Sweet. All right, folks. Thanks for showing up. I'd say hit the like button, but I'm starting to think it doesn't matter because I got a video. I've been looking through my history. I got a video that only has 7 likes. It has 4 times the views of a video that had 17. So, if you can figure out the YouTube algorithm, more power to you. Give me a course in it, folks. It's like, it makes absolutely no sense. All right, everyone have a fantastic Sunday. And as Corey Davis says, go Niners and F all 30.